Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1980 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Detroit Tigers and the Milwaukee Brewers at Milwaukee County Stadium. On the mound for Detroit is Jack Morris, who's 9-5 with a 4.19 ERA. And pitching today for the Milwaukee Brewers is Moose Haas, whose record is 10-6 with a 3.64 ERA. Okay, so today's the first game after the All-Star break. I just want to say really quick thank you to everyone who watched the pregame and the All-Star game. It's actually one of my most popular videos in this series, and I just really appreciate everyone who is enjoying this, and it's a lot of fun for me to bring it to you. So just a sincere thank you. And so, yeah, first game, here we are. We're away at the Milwaukee Brewers. And as I mentioned during this three-day break, that I was going to have to make some changes to the Tigers team. And so I did. I made two trades, one of significance, one not so much, not so important. But I traded Rick Peters to the Pittsburgh Pirates for starting pitcher Jim Bibby and center fielder Omar Marino. And they threw in some cash as well. Rick Peters, if you remember right, is actually an 89 overall right now with a peak of 91. So, I mean, he's a really decent starting center fielder, but defensively he's terrible, and I just can't play him. So I traded him to Pittsburgh, and we get a great defensive center fielder with speed, who comes inexpensive, as well as Jim Bibby, whose contract is up at the end of the year, but, you know, maybe we'll resign him, maybe we won't. We'll see how it goes. So that means that Jack Billingham was the odd man out, and I sold him to the Oakland A's for a bag of balls. So, you know, it's just unfortunate, but that's the way we have to do it in order to try to stay in this race. So, okay, enough yammering. Let's get to the game. Let's see here. There we go. So, yeah, thanks again, everyone. Please keep in mind that we have a couple baseball card contests going on right now. One is for a 1982 Topps Baseball Rack Pack, which everyone can get into as long as you're a subscriber. So take a look at my baseball card videos, and there will be instructions on what to do. So here we are, Jack Morris, starting us off here in the second half of the season. He's a 90-91 all of a sudden, so that's fantastic. So, and all of our bullpen, of course, is healthy and ready. There are no changes there. And then here is our defensive setup now. I did switch some people around. I got Carlton Fisk back in there. Hopefully he's rested enough to have a productive second half. And Omar Marino, our newest acquisition, will be in the number 9 spot. Okay. So as always, we'll go ahead and do the lineup rundown. And then over here, you'll see the 1980 Topps Baseball, the card that represents that player. So batting leadoff and playing second base is Sweet Lou Whitaker. Batting second and at short is Alan Trammell. Batting third and at third base is Richie Hebner. Batting cleanup and in left field is Steve Kemp. Batting fifth and catching is Lance Parrish. Batting sixth and at first base is Jason Thompson. Batting seventh and at DH is Carlton Fisk. Batting eighth and in right field is Gary Hancock. And batting ninth and in center field is Omar Marino. Pitching for the Brewers is Moose Haas, We've seen him a couple times this year already. He's got this is his 21st start. He's 10-5 with a 3.64 ERA. Opponent's batting average of 290. 4 complete games, 2 shutouts. So he's fared fairly well against us, and maybe we can get things started early and put up some runs against the Brew Crew. Lou Whitaker is going to lead it off by popping up to second base. And that will bring up Alan Trammell. He's 1 for 6 against Moose Haas. And he pops up to short. So it's 2 down. Here's Richie Hebner. And Hebner will ground it to third. And Gantner has it for the 3rd out. So now we head to the bottom of the 1st. And here's the lineup for the Milwaukee Brewers. Batting leadoff and DHing is Randy Reddy. Batting second and playing third base is Jim Gantner. Batting third and at second base is Hall of Famer Paul Molitor. Batting cleanup and in center field is Stormin Gorman Thomas. Batting fifth and at first base is Cecil Cooper. Batting sixth and in left field is Ben Ogilvie. Batting seventh and in right field is Sixto Lezcano. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, Hall of Famer Robin Yount. And finally, batting ninth and catching is Charlie Moore. And on the mound for the Tigers is Jack Morris. Jack is making his 19th start. He's 9-6 with a 4.19 ERA. Opponent's batting average is 278 with 1 complete game. And he was actually doing really well for about 6 starts. And in his last start before the All-Star break, he got lit up for 6 runs. And it pushed his ERA back over 4. But overall, it's been a pretty good year for Jack. Batting leadoff will be Randy Reddy. Randy Reddy is a rookie this year, and he starts the bottom half of the first with a base hit. And so runner on first, and third baseman Jim Gantner comes to the plate. And Gantner takes a third strike looking. So 1 down for Paul Molitor. And Molitor strikes out swinging. So that's the 2nd out of the inning. And that will bring up Gorman Thomas. And Thomas hits it to right field. And Hancock has it for the 3rd out. So we head to the top of the 2nd inning. And Steve Kemp is going to lead off. And Kemp pops it up on the infield. That's 3 of the 4 outs as pop-ups so far. So 1 down for Lance Parrish. And Parrish hits a long fly ball into left center field. And that's the 2nd out. So 2 down. Here's JT. And Thompson pops it up on the infield as well. Right over second base. And it is short outfield there. Short center field. So another 1-2-3 inning. As we head to the bottom of the 2nd. Cecil Cooper leads off. Jack Morris was one of the 2 Tiger representatives in the All-Star game. He didn't get into the game. I didn't want to take any risks with him getting injured. So I did not stick him in there even for an inning. As Ben Ogilvie gets a base hit over Trammell's head. Trammell was the other All-Star for Detroit. And I brought him in the 6th inning. And he finished out the game. He was 0 for 2. So Ogilvie just steals second base. Runner in scoring position, 1 down. Here's Sixto Lezcano. And when I was doing, looking at the trade block, as Lezcano gets a base hit to right field, Ogilvy scores. The Brewers offered me Lezcano, who is batting .332 with 9 home runs. But he plays right field. He doesn't play center, as Robin Yount flies out to left field. That's the second out of the inning. And so I just couldn't justify the trade. So number 9 hitter, Charlie Moore, runner at first, 2 down. And Charlie Moore hits it down the first base line into the corner. Lezcano stops at third, and the slow catcher stays at first. So, first and third, 2 outs. We're back to the top of the lineup with Randy Reddy. He's only batting .215 versus right-handed pitchers, and he walks in this at-bat. So we're in a big jam here with 2 down. Base is loaded for Jim Gantner. And Gantner's going to ground it to Whitaker, and that's the third out. So no more damage is done. Brewers lead 1-0 as we head to the top of the third. And here's Carlton Fisk. This guy has been terrible for a good month and a half, maybe longer. For a Hall of Famer, he is just not getting anything to fall as he flies to center field for the first out. And for as good as Gary Hancock was, he's also slumping as he's down to .271. For a long time, he was well over 300. He grounds it to second, and that's the second out. And here's the first plate appearance for Omar Marino. He's a lefty. He's only batting .202 in just limited duty for the Pirates. And he's going to pop up behind third base for the third out. So another 1-2-3 inning. And we have yet to even get someone on base. And this is not the way we wanted to start the second half of the season. So Paul Molitor, who's 3 for 11 with a home run against Morris, grounds it to Hebner. That's 1 down. Gorman Thomas is up next. And he walks. So 2 walks, 2 strikeouts for Morris. He's at 46 pitches with 1 out here in the third. So Cecil Cooper comes up with 1 out, and he strikes out swinging, and that's the second out. So 2 down for Ben Ogilvy, and Ogilvy grounds it right back to Morris, and that's the third out. So we head to the top of the fourth. Here we are with Lou Whitaker leading off, trying to get anything going. There we go. Whitaker slaps it into left field for a base hit. And you know what that means, hit and run time. Charlie Moore is a good defensive catcher, so if Trammell misses this, it could be trouble for Whitaker. But Trammell's going to fly out to center and won't make a difference. I would normally try to steal to get into position, but I don't trust Whitaker's speed. So we're going to let Hebner swing away. And Hebner gets a base hit to left field, and Whitaker holds at second. So first and second, and our cleanup hitter, Steve Kemp, who's already got 12 grounding into double plays. Is that the right way to say that? So he's hit into double plays 12 times. There you go. So here's Steve Kemp. And Kemp goes down and gets one. Will it drop in? No, it's going to be caught into short center field. And we're not going to risk Whitaker being the third out at third. So we're going to say no. And Parrish, it's up to Parrish to drive in our first run. And he will not do it as he grounds it to second. And that's the third out. So we head to the bottom of the fourth. We did get our first 2 hits. So that's something. Sixto Lezcano leads off the inning. He was one of the 2 representatives for the Brewers in the All-Star game. The other was Paul Molitor. Oh, actually, there was 3 because Robin Yount was in there too. That's who Trammell came in for. As Yount gets a base hit into right center field. So one down, runner at first. Here's Charlie Moore. And Moore walks. So that's the third walk for Morris. Runners at first and second. And here's Randy Reddy, who has not been put out yet, as he strikes out looking. And that's the second out of the inning. So two down. Jim Gantner comes to the plate. He's 2 for 13 against Morris. And he lines it right at Whitaker, and he has it for this third out. So the game is still 1-0 as we head to the top of the fifth. Moose Haas only at 45 pitches. No Ks, no walks. And JT is going to lead off the inning. He goes down and just rips it into the right field upper deck. And there's Thompson's 6th home run of the year. And if he can get going in the second half, that would be great, because he's been underwhelming and no doubt a disappointment. Fisk is going to pop it right over the second baseman's head. It will be caught by the right fielder. Sixto Lizcano. I had a brain cramp there. So, one down. And here's Gary Hancock. Hancock grounds it to third. And that's the second out. So that's going to leave it up to Omar Marino, getting his second plate appearance. And there we go. Base hit down the right field line. Into the corner, Marino, with his great speed, gets a double. So that's the first hit for Marino in a Tigers uniform. Two down. Here's Sweet Lou. And Whitaker is going to drive him in with a base hit to left. And yeah, we're going to risk Whitaker going for a double with Ogilvy's noodle arm. Yeah, there we go. So Whitaker gets another double, back-to-back doubles, and we take the lead, 2-1. So two down for Trammell. And Trammell rips it to left, but that'll be caught on a line, and that'll be the third out. So now we head to the bottom of the fifth. We have our first lead. Morris is at 68 pitches. Paul Molitor is going to lead off the inning. And Molitor rips it right at Kemp in left field for the first out. So one down. Gorman Thomas strikes out a ton, but he's actually got 2 walks against Morris. There's 3. So Thomas has a good eye, despite striking out so much. And so one down and runner at first. Here's first baseman Cecil Cooper. Cooper grounds it to Tram. Is that going to be 2? It is. And we turn the double play and we head to the top of the 6th. Richie Hebner will lead off the inning. Scores 2-1. And Hebner grounds it to third. That's the first out of the inning. Steve Kemp's up next, and he's going to pop it up on the infield. Shortstop Yount has it, and that's 2 down. And here's the big wheel, Lance Parrish, and he's going to strike out swinging. So we head to the bottom of the 6th. Morris has become a little bit more efficient. He's at 78 pitches. Ogilvy leads off the inning. I know I've mentioned this before as Ogilvy pops it up on the infield. But Ogilvy was a Detroit Tiger for a few years before he developed his home run swing. And, of course, the Tigers in real life could have used Ogilvy. But we traded him to the Brewers for Jim Slayton, who we'll see later in the series. And Slayton was with the Tigers for 1 year, and then he went right back to the Brewers. So one down, runner at first, as Lizcano walks. It's 5 walks for Morris. So maybe I should have pitched him in the All-Star game. Oh, and there's caught stealing. Lizcano tries to steal second. Parrish throws him out. So bases are empty now. 1-0 count to Robin Yount. And Yount's going to hit it into the right center field gap. But it's going to be caught by our new center fielder. our speedy guy. And that's a third out. So 2 in the top of the 7th. Oh, I almost forgot. We're going to switch it over to the game stats. There you go. Again, not a lot to see there, but it's informative. So Moose Haas still hanging in there. And JT greets him. Had a home run in his last at bat. And he'll send a fly ball out to center field. Not far enough. And that's 1 down. And Fisk comes to the plate. He's just killing me. I don't know what to do with him, as he grounds it right back to Haas. And that's 2 down. I feel like the more I talk about it, the more it annoys me. Gary Hancock is going to hit it into right center field, and that's the 3rd out. So, to the bottom of the 7th, Morris is at 92 pitches. His endurance is very high. He could go 120 at least. So, I'd almost rather keep Morris in there than to bring in Senior Smoke, who's blown 2 saves in a row. Charlie Moore lines out to right field. And we're back to Randy Reddy. A great alliteration name, as Randy Reddy pops it up to second base. That's 2 down. So 2 down for Jim Gantner. He's 2 for 14 against Jack Morris as he slices it to left. Kemp's got it for the 3rd out. We're heading to the top of the 8th. Score is 2-1, 5 hits apiece. And Omar Marino will lead off the inning. And Marino is going to fly out to left. I almost wish I could somehow change his Atlanta Braves hat to a Tiger hat. Like maybe cut out this Whitaker hat and somehow... I wish there was some sort of way to do that in this game. So 1 out, and Lou hits a long fly ball into right field, and it is gone. So what is that? Is that his 9th home run? It is the 9th home run of the year for Whitaker. He's 3 for 4 today. And right now he's in the running for player of the game. So hopefully the time off did some good for him as Trammell grounds it to 3rd. That's 2 down. And Richie Hebner comes to the plate, 4 for 8 against Moose Haas this year. Make it 5 for 9 as he gets a base hit past Yount. And it's 2 outs now with Steve Kemp. Hebner at first. And Kemp's going to pop it up on the infield. And the catcher has it for the 3rd out. So we head to the bottom of the 8th. Morris at 105 pitches. And we got a couple righties here. So we're going to at least let him try to get through these guys as Molitor grounds it to Tram. Tram throws to first, and that is the 1st out of the inning. So 1 down for Grumman Thomas, and Thomas had another 3-1 count, but he pops it up in the foul ground, and that is the 2nd out. So 2 down, I feel pretty confident about giving Morris a chance against Cooper, and he gets him swinging. So we're heading to the 9th, and finally, one of the starting pitchers is out. It's going to be Bob McClure, the closer, coming in. And there you go. Bob McClure, 31 games, 1 win, 3 losses, 16. He was actually an all-star, I believe, right? No. Okay, so never mind. He should have been. 16 saves, no blown saves. So he's been a pretty good closer for a lefty. So we're going to lead off the inning with Parrish. Parrish grounds it weakly to 2nd. 1 down. Here's Jason Thompson. Thompson does not hit against lefties too often. He's only batting 143. And now he's 0 for 4 against McClure. Now, on the other hand, we have Carlton Fisk finally facing a lefty. He's batting .352 with a .611 slugging percentage. So I'm expecting big results. Oh, almost got it through. Couldn't get it past the 2nd baseman, Paul Molitor, and we head to the bottom of the 9th. So we're going to bring in Tommy Brookins defensively at third. And I'm going to do something I haven't done before. And I'm going to bring in Bob Baylor to play right field defensively, especially since we got a lefty here. And we're going to give Morris a chance to close this game out and get a complete game. So Ogilvy leads off, and he strikes out swinging 6 Ks for Morris. And now we're at 120, so we're at around the max now. Lizcano with 1 down, he strikes out. So Morris actually looking stronger here in the 9th. That's 7 Ks for Morris. And Robin out with 2 down. Oh, he gets a base hit right back to center field. And I'm sorry, folks, I can't do it. 135 pitches. I cannot let him go. Another out. We want him to get the win. We want to preserve this. We're going to bring in Senior Smoke. Oh, man. I don't feel good about this at all, but he is our closer. So running at first. Charlie Moore, he does have some pop. Oh, and a balk. So he comes in and he balks. Wow. Lopez is terrible. And Charlie Moore strikes out swinging. And so we do get the win. Tigers win 3-1. That's a good way to start off the second half of the year. A great starting pitching performance. A great individual hitting performance from Whitaker. And the long bomb from JT. And we have a retirement of Danny Walton for the Rangers. Oh, yeah, I remember him playing for the Seattle Pilots. I don't remember, I wasn't alive, but I remember his baseball card. And anyway, so let's go ahead and pull up the box score and we'll get out of here. Thanks again for following along. We're going to go ahead and give the player of the game to Lou Whitaker with his home run, 3 hits, 2 RBIs. Morris gets the win. He's now 10-6. Moose Haas takes a loss. He's also 10-6. And Aurelio Lopez hangs on to get the save number 20. And that's going to be it here from County Stadium. We'll be back tomorrow with the second game of the series. And until then, everyone, have a great night.